I think that I have tried to film this video a minimum of 900,000 times. Hello everyone, my name is Jenna. Welcome back to the Holistic Homemaker channel. Today we're doing a garden tour and a garden renovation of sorts. A lot has happened in the garden that hasn't been the best. So we are going to reassess what's going on. I'll show you a full update of what is happening, what's flourishing, and what is about to get pulled up. Phase 2, we're gonna try again. This is a learning curve with this new property. It's so hot out. Last house we lived in, where we had the giant garden before, had a little bit more shade to it, and the critters were a little bit different because the water wasn't so close by. We do have a lake pond across the way, so we get more critters in the yard and more insects in the yard. So it's a learning curve on the type of critters and insects and things that we get. It's also a learning curve on the fact that we have literally an entire day of full sun here. So I'm just like staring over there like, ugh. I need to start intercropping and finding companion plants to help with the shade and help with the bugs. So we're going to plant some seeds today because the season is kind of phasing out in a lot of stores. I couldn't find what I wanted, so we were able to find them in seed form, which might not work this time around, but they'll at least be in the dirt and get in the habit of being there. So let's go do a quick garden tour and then let's get to work. We also have an infestation of armadillos that attack the yard every night. So we are going to put down some repellent around the fence to hopefully get rid of those. On a positive note, one of our citrus trees is coming back strong. The lemon tree is coming back strong. Whatever one we planted on the other side of the yard, it's done. It didn't come back, but this one's doing really, really well. Here we have part 1 of what's ruining everything. This is a Japanese beetle, and they are infesting the beans. You can see we've got lots of holes. This was our Lincoln peas that were doing amazing. They are now completely dying because of the Japanese beetles. A lot of these are still fruiting, but I think our garbanzos are starting to go. The peas I might have to pull up, to be honest. So this is part 1 of what we need to fix today. But they are still fruiting, which is great, but not for much longer. If these guys keep eating the shade, the beans won't be able to really do a whole lot. Okay, part 2 of what's making me sad is our greens are molding. And they are molding pretty aggressively right now, which is a humongous bummer. And so the way we were growing our lettuce and endive and our kale is the high intensity yield, where you just sprinkle the seeds in a row, let them all kind of group together to where they don't need to grow into a head. We can just shave off the surface and it'll keep growing, and we shave off what we need and it'll keep growing. And that way we get more use out of the produce that we're growing. But we live in a super humid area in the low country, and so I'm getting these heat pockets between the leaves. It'll downpour, 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 and then it'll be 1,000,000 degrees out and unbelievably humid like it is right now. So I'm getting these heat pockets between the leaves, and that's causing them to mold because the humidity is getting trapped, and so it's causing everything to rot. So I'm getting some root rot on these, and I'm thinking I either need to pull up some of these or just strip them down to bare bones, or I don't really know what to do, so I'm just gonna wing it and see what happens. We do have something currently eating the kale leaves, which is a bummer because they're still pretty premature. They've also been getting burnt from the sun, so what I want to do is I'm gonna plant some sunflowers where I had the radishes at the edge of this box. They're gonna be in seed form, so it's gonna be a while before they're actually shading this area, which is okay because these greens honestly might be going back to seed as well. So I'm gonna plant some sunflowers so that they can at least get some form of shade throughout the day, because it is pretty brutal right here. I'm actually shocked that they've done this well. We have gotten a lot from it, from this box in particular, but it's a little sad right now. So I'm gonna get those things in the dirt, and we'll see if that helps in the future. Okay, so a couple of things. I did do that. I did get suckered. I didn't get suckered. I didn't need convincing. I did buy a pepper plant while we were at the Tractor Supply, mainly because my pepper seeds got destroyed when the greenhouse got destroyed. And I can't even remember if I told you guys about that or not. I have no idea anymore. When the greenhouse got destroyed in that storm about a month ago, all of my seeds gone. All my seeds are gone. And they were doing so well in there, and they just got wrecked. All my tomatoes, all my peppers, all of my eggplants, all of my corn, all of my everything that I have got wrecked. So I did decide, because I do want peppers this season, I got the one that we would honestly use the most as far as pickling and cooking with and just eating on its own. I got a little jalapeno plant just so that we can have some peppers. It's kind of a huge accomplishment actually, and I didn't realize it till this very moment, but this is the only thing that I didn't start from seed this year. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit of props for only cheating on one thing. We did get a jalapeno plant, I hope. Yeah, mammoth jalapeno pepper. So this will go somewhere in there when we tear things up. I also can't find marigolds anywhere. I don't know why. Seems like a pretty common thing to have around right now. But so I did have to get marigold seed. The only bummer with it, aside from having to start it from seed, instead of just being able to put it in there and have it be a natural repellent right away, is it takes 65 to 70 days to bloom. That's a really long time. So, I mean, we live in an area where it's hot 11 out of 12 months of the year. So, I mean, we'll get use out of it, but it sucks because it's not going to help me now. It'll help me later. It'll be okay. But I'm just going to plant individual seeds along the corners of each box, I think. I also got sunflower seeds. I did the Fun in the Sun blend because I thought they were so pretty. So these take 55 to 60 days. How a sunflower takes less time than a freaking marigold, I will never understand. But I am not in the correct season to be planting either one of these for my zone. Just so you guys know, I am aware of that, but I need assistance, so we're just gonna see how it goes. And if it sucks, then it's only $6. We're gonna go through my bucket of seeds because I might have to plant different things for this particular season since it is so hot, and I'm not as prepared shade-wise as I'd like to be. So a lot of notes are going on the calendar for next year on how to prep these boxes this year. So we're gonna reassess a little bit, figure out what I can actually put in the dirt and what will actually thrive right now, honestly, the things that are killing it are my tubers. Like, we've had, I think, 5 different radish harvests. We've got 12 potato plants that are thriving, and I have probably 40 red onions that are doing amazing. The squashes keep, with the heat, they keep forming and then rotting off, and then forming and then rotting off. And then you've seen the greens, you've seen the beans. I've gotten one squash. He was super cute. We're going to eat him today, actually, but I've only gotten one that was actually able to be picked. So that's a huge bummer, but that's okay. The bees are being like particularly hostile this morning. I don't know what that's all about, but I think I'm just going to take off whatever is dead. Give the kale a good snip because it is still growing pretty well, but just chop off whatever's been wrecked. So that is just so depressing. Okay. I'm kicking ass, and then I look up and my phone's overheated. So it's really hot today. I will show you real quick what I'm doing. Holy crap, it's hot out. I gotta go inside soon. The whole garden's situated. I just have to spray it, and I did move some things around and I planted some things, and we're doing it. In this box, I cleaned it up a little bit. I also planted 1 of the Dixie watermelon and 6 corn on this side that will grow and shade over there. In this section, cleaned it up a lot. There's a lot of debris over there. I created some space in the moldy areas and figured out what was doing well. In each gap on the corners, so that corner, in each gap, there are 12 marigold total planted to the end of the greens. Now, right here, right next to the greens is the black Spanish radish. And then along this side, we have sunflower seeds that will grow and shade that way. Over here, I only had to pull up 1 bean. I might need to pull up more, but I pulled up the calypso bean, which is sad because it's like my favorite one. Those are so cool. And I planted the jalapeno in its place. Hopefully the stinky jalapeno plant will deter some of these beetles and such. I'm going to do a huge bean harvest to kind of get rid of some of the weight on the plants that are not growing. And along this border I planted chamomile. So I've got chamomile there. Everything got fertilized. The potatoes need to be neem oiled. There is a little batch right here in this L shape of chamomile. I couldn't do too much in here because I do need to dig up this whole thing once these plants die. So everything's done. I also noticed that my garlic greens have died off, which typically means you can harvest them, and I realized they died from heat and not from maturity. So those got pulled up. I'm about to replant all of the herbs into that pot and put that on the porch, I think. I'm gonna move the herbs closer that way. But I'm gonna neem oil real quick to the big leaves. Do not neem oil your tender leaves. All of your greens cannot be neem oiled. So make sure they're thick, hardy ones like potatoes, beans, squash, broccoli. Neem oil. This is just a standard sprayer. It is a mixture of the neem oil and just water. And I'm going to pump it up. Neem oiling is done. I'm actually not going to water it right now, simply because it's supposed to rain and the temperature is starting to drop a little bit. It's getting a little windy, so I actually do think it is going to rain. So I'm going to wait and see, and if it hasn't rained, by the time I'm ready for bed, I'll come back out here and water everything and give everything a good drench, get the seeds nice and germinating. Clean up my mess. But now we're gonna go replant the herbs, and then I think we're done. I hope we're done. This has turned out to be a much bigger project than I thought it was gonna be, which is just the story of my life. Alright y'all, that is it for today's garden update. I say that is it like it wasn't a whole lot of stuff, but that was a whole lot of stuff. If you all enjoyed this garden update, this garden revamp, and want to see more, please like this video and feel free to subscribe, clicking on any of the things that I might put up over here. I do garden updates pretty frequently, whether in shorts or in full videos like this if I have a lot of work to do. And I'll see you all next week.